People don't fall in love with you by accident. It is not your face, not your words, not even your kindness. There are only two reasons someone truly falls in love with you, and they go far deeper than what most understand. One is about how you make them feel. The other is about what you awaken inside them. If you lack one, love fades. If you master both, love becomes inevitable and unshakable. In this teaching, we'll go beyond attraction, beyond games, and speak directly to the invisible power that pulls hearts together or silently repels them. Stay to the end. The second reason is the one most people never discover, and it's the real key to lasting love. When we speak of love, the conversation so easily drifts into the ethereal destiny, soulmates, inexplicable chemistry. And let's be clear, attraction is a powerful force. That initial spark, the physical magnetism, the shared laughter over obscure references, finding common ground in hobbies or worldviews. These are often the crucial initial gateways. They pique interest, they create opportunity, they get your foot in the door of someone's attention. But, and this is the critical distinction, these elements, while delightful and often necessary, are rarely sufficient on their own to cause someone to truly fall in love, to make that profound emotional leap of faith. That deeper level of commitment, that internal whisper turning into a roar of "this person is indispensable," hinges on something far more substantial, something that resonates at the core of our being. It revolves around the fulfillment of two primal psychological necessities within the unique context of that relationship dynamic. We're not talking about superficial attributes like physical perfection, financial status, or social clout, things that might initially dazzle but seldom sustain the weight of genuine, long-term love when acting in isolation. No, these two reasons are fundamentally about the impact you have on the other person's innermost world. It's about how you make them feel not just momentarily happy, but fundamentally about themselves and about their place in the world when they are entwined with you. In essence, it's less about the impressive qualities you possess and far more about the person they feel they become or have the potential to become in your presence. It's the reflection you offer back to them. Are you prepared to dissect these two pillars? Let's delve into them, because understanding this isn't merely an intellectual exercise. It possesses immense practical value for anyone seeking to build or maintain deep, meaningful human bonds. This isn't a blueprint for manipulation, let me stress that. It's about recognizing the authentic conditions under which profound connection naturally flourishes. This is the frequency your heart instinctively tunes into. So let's unpack the first fundamental reason people genuinely fall head over heels in love with you. You make them feel profoundly seen and understood, often in ways they haven't experienced before. Take a moment to let that sink in. Seen, understood. Not just glanced at, not just passively heard, but perceived with a depth and clarity that feels like a long-awaited validation of their very essence. This transcends merely noticing their new haircut or remembering their coffee order, although those small acts of attention can be pebbles paving the way. This deeper seeing involves recognizing the intricate, often hidden landscape of the person behind the social presentation, the carefully constructed persona we all employ to navigate the world. It's about intuitively grasping their unspoken hopes, the quiet ambitions they might harbor but hesitate to voice aloud. It's about acknowledging their deepest fears, their vulnerabilities, their insecurities, not with judgment or pity, but with quiet acceptance and perhaps even gentle reassurance. It's about getting their unique brand of humor, understanding the origins of their quirky habits, appreciating the specific combination of traits that makes them singularly them, and not just putting up with these idiosyncrasies, but finding value, perhaps even charm in them. Imagine the profound relief that washes over someone when they finally dare to express a complex, messy emotion, a deeply held insecurity, or a controversial thought, and your response isn't confusion, criticism, or awkward silence, but rather genuine empathy, a knowing nod, words or gestures that silently communicate, "I hear you, I understand that feeling, and you are still okay, you are still valued right here." This experience cultivates an incredibly potent sense of psychological safety. It creates a sanctuary, a relational haven where they feel permitted to lower their defenses, to be imperfect, to admit uncertainty, to expose their unvarnished selves without fear of rejection or ridicule. In a world that often demands constant performance, unwavering confidence, and curated perfection, finding someone who provides this safe harbor feels like discovering an oasis. The gratitude, the profound sense of relief, and the sheer intimacy generated by feeling so utterly accepted can easily, naturally, powerfully blossom into deep, abiding love. This profound sense of being seen isn't mystical, it manifests through tangible actions and attitudes. It's evident in the quality of your listening. Are you truly present, absorbing their words, tracking their emotional undercurrents, asking insightful follow-up questions that demonstrate genuine curiosity? Or are you simply waiting for a pause to insert your own story? It's demonstrated when you validate their emotional experience, even if their reaction seems disproportionate or their perspective differs from yours. Saying, "I can understand why that situation would make you feel angry," is infinitely more connecting than "you're overreacting." It's there when you notice subtle shifts in their mood or behavior and gently inquire, showing you're attuned to their inner state. "You seem a bit quieter than usual. Is everything all right?" It shines through when you genuinely acknowledge and celebrate their strengths, particularly the ones they tend to minimize or overlook in themselves. It's in those moments you anticipate a need not through psychic powers, but through careful observation and remembering past conversations, offering a cup of tea during a stressful time, providing quiet support without needing to be asked. It's embedded in the shared laughter over inside jokes that arise organically from a mutually understood perspective on life. It's the cumulative effect of countless small interactions where they feel they don't need to constantly translate themselves, because you just seem to grasp their internal language. This deep resonance fosters an intimacy that superficial charm or fleeting passion simply cannot touch. It represents the crucial difference between someone admiring a curated image of you and someone genuinely connecting with the complex, sometimes contradictory, reality of who you are, perceived flaws included. That specific connection, the profound comfort of being truly known and still unconditionally accepted for who you are right now, acts as one of the most powerful attractors for the human spirit. It directly counteracts the pervasive sense of isolation and misunderstanding that can subtly plague even the most socially connected individuals in our modern era. When you provide this deep seeing for another, you are quenching a fundamental thirst. Feeling truly seen is like hearing your favorite song played just for you. Consider for a moment relationships in your past, perhaps those that ultimately dissolved, or friendships where a certain emotional distance always remained, never quite allowing for complete ease. If you examine them closely, you'll often find that a crucial missing element was this very sense of being fully seen and deeply understood. Maybe you felt a constant, low-level pressure to conform, to suppress certain aspects of your personality. Perhaps your feelings were frequently dismissed or minimized. Or maybe you carried the exhausting burden of perpetually needing to explain your intentions, justify your reactions, or translate your inner world into terms the other person could comprehend. The sheer effort required to maintain the connection under such circumstances becomes draining over time. Conversely, recall moments perhaps rare, perhaps transformative, when you encountered someone who seemed to effortlessly get you, who understood your nuances without lengthy explanation. The feeling is one of immense relief, of putting down a heavy load you didn't even fully realize you were carrying. It feels natural. It feels like coming home. Importantly, this isn't about finding someone identical to yourself, a perfect mirror image. Instead, it's about discovering someone whose unique perspective, values, and empathy allow them to appreciate and validate your own inner reality in ways that matter. It's about finding someone who approaches your inner world not with judgment or assumptions, but with genuine curiosity, respect, and a desire to understand. When you consciously offer this profound gift to another person, the gift of your focused attention, your empathetic listening, your non-judgmental acceptance, you are directly addressing one of their deepest human yearnings. This builds trust far more rapidly and securely than grand gestures or declarations ever could. It creates the fertile ground where vulnerability can tentatively emerge, and shared vulnerability, nurtured within safety, is the very bedrock upon which true, lasting intimacy is constructed. People don't just appreciate being seen, they fall deeply in love with the person who creates the safety and acceptance that makes being seen possible, even desirable. This first pillar is foundational. Without its sturdy presence, relationships, regardless of initial excitement or shared interests, often remain stuck in the shallows, ultimately feeling incomplete or unsatisfying. Now, let's pivot to the equally crucial second fundamental reason why people surrender their hearts and fall deeply in love with you. You inspire them to be better, experience more, and reach higher. While the first reason provides the essential safety net of acceptance for who they are right now, this second reason injects the vital energy of growth and possibility. It's about the feeling that your presence in their life acts as a positive catalyst, motivating them to evolve, expand their horizons, and strive towards their own potential. Crucially, this isn't about exerting pressure, delivering critiques, or trying to mold them into your ideal image. True inspiration is far more subtle and respectful. It arises organically from who you are and how you engage with the world. It's that internal stirring they feel, the sense that being connected to you ignites a desire within them to aim a little higher in their own lives, to dust off dormant dreams, to approach challenges with renewed vigor, or to explore aspects of life they previously shied away from. Often, you don't need to actively preach or push, merely embodying qualities they admire, perhaps your unwavering passion for your work, your quiet resilience when facing setbacks, your consistent kindness even when stressed, your insatiable intellectual curiosity, your courage in pursuing adventure, your demonstrable integrity in difficult situations can be profoundly inspiring. Witnessing you navigate life authentically, aligned with your core values, can spark a resonant desire within them to cultivate similar strengths, rekindle their own forgotten passions, or pursue goals they had subconsciously deemed unattainable. Your very way of being becomes an implicit source of encouragement, a gentle gravitational pull towards their own growth and fulfillment. Your presence makes their own world feel bigger and brighter. This inspiration isn't monolithic, it manifests across a spectrum of human experience. Perhaps you gently introduce them to new perspectives through engaging conversations, challenging their assumptions without being confrontational. Maybe you share your enthusiasm for books, art, music, or travel, opening doors to experiences they might not have considered otherwise, subtly expanding their world. Your quiet confidence in their abilities might surpass their own self-belief, giving them the courage to apply for that challenging job, start that creative project, or have that difficult conversation they've been avoiding. You might embody healthy habits, physical, mental, or emotional, that inspire them to take better care of themselves, not through lecturing, but through positive modeling. Conversations with you might consistently leave them feeling mentally stimulated, emotionally uplifted, more optimistic about their own capabilities and the possibilities life holds. Perhaps your unique skill set or way of thinking complements theirs perfectly, creating a powerful synergy where together you both feel more competent, creative, and capable of tackling challenges than you would alone. It boils down to the feeling that life itself possesses more depth, more vibrancy, more interest, and ultimately more meaning with you as a part of it. This isn't about codependency or needing another person to feel whole. Rather, it's about the amplifying effect of a partner who genuinely champions your growth and celebrates your becoming. It stands in stark contrast to relationships that induce feelings of stagnation, depletion, or diminishment, relationships where one partner feels subtly or overtly held back, constantly second-guessed or belittled. Instead, this second pillar fosters a dynamic partnership geared towards mutual elevation and flourishing. Humans are inherently drawn to connection that imbues them with a sense of hope, expanded capability, and genuine excitement about the journey ahead, both their individual path and the potential for a shared future. This forward momentum is intoxicating. Reflect on the individuals you hold in high esteem, the mentors, friends, or public figures who truly inspire you. Almost invariably, there's an element of aspiration involved. They embody qualities, pursue goals, or navigate the world in a manner that resonates deeply with who you wish to become or how you aspire to live. When this powerful dynamic of inspiration intertwines with the profound safety of feeling seen and understood, reason one, it creates an extraordinarily compelling force for love. Imagine the potency. You feel utterly safe to reveal your deepest vulnerabilities and simultaneously feel motivated and supported to grow into your best self. It's a rare and beautiful synergy. They cherish you for exactly who you are right now, reason one, and they also champion the person you are capable of becoming, reason two. This potent combination prevents the relationship from feeling merely comfortable. It ensures it also feels vital, dynamic, and oriented towards a positive future. It offers both the profound comfort of a secure anchor and the exhilarating possibility of setting sail towards new horizons. The most deeply satisfying and enduring love affairs often masterfully integrate both dimensions. They provide the unwavering safe base required for authenticity and the enthusiastic encouragement needed for personal evolution. If you can consistently embody this for another person, being someone who truly perceives their intrinsic worth and potential, accepts their human imperfections with grace, and simultaneously sparks their desire to learn, grow, and contribute more fully, you tap into something fundamental, something that speaks directly to the deepest aspirations of the human soul, making the connection feel not just desirable, but essential. Love thrives at the intersection of deep acceptance and inspired growth. It is absolutely vital to recognize that these two pillars, feeling seen, understood, and feeling inspired, elevated, are not independent silos. They are deeply, dynamically interconnected, constantly influencing each other. The profound psychological safety cultivated by feeling truly seen and accepted, reason one, is often the very prerequisite that allows someone to embrace the vulnerability inherent in growth and change, reason two. Think about it. You are far more likely to take risks, pursue ambitious goals, try unfamiliar activities, or confront personal shortcomings if you trust implicitly that your partner's fundamental regard for you is unwavering, that their acceptance isn't conditional upon your constant success or perfection. Knowing you have that secure base frees you up to reach higher. Conversely, feeling genuinely inspired by your partner's character, passion, or way of being, reason two, can significantly deepen your desire to understand them more fully and to allow yourself to be understood by them in return, reason one. Admiration often fuels curiosity. You naturally want to learn more about the person who makes you feel so energized and hopeful, and you develop a stronger yearning for them to truly know and appreciate the real you as well. It becomes a beautiful, reinforcing cycle where safety enables growth, and growth enhances intimacy and understanding. However, a significant imbalance between these two pillars inevitably creates instability or dissatisfaction. If a relationship provides abundant safety and understanding but lacks any spark of inspiration, perhaps feeling incredibly comfortable but also predictable, stagnant, or even bordering on boring, the passionate, deeply invested form of love might struggle to ignite, or if initially present, may gradually fade over time. The crucial element of shared growth and forward momentum is missing. On the other flip side, if a partner is immensely inspiring, perhaps they are brilliant, charismatic, wildly successful, or incredibly adventurous, but fails to provide that consistent feeling of being truly seen, understood, and accepted on a fundamental level, the connection can feel precarious, lonely, intimidating, or performative. You might admire them intensely from afar, but the lack of psychological safety prevents the formation of deep, trusting intimacy. You might feel like you constantly need to measure up or maintain a facade. The true magic, the sweet spot where deep, sustainable love flourishes, lies in the presence and relative balance of both elements, creating a relationship that feels simultaneously like a safe refuge and an exciting launching pad. Enduring love is a garden requiring constant, mindful tending. So, as we stand back and consider this framework, the twin pillars of being profoundly seen and understood and being genuinely inspired and elevated, how does it settle within you? Does this perspective resonate with the contours of your own lived experiences, your own journeys into and out of love, or your observations of the relationships around you? Take a moment to reflect on the connections that have mattered most deeply in your life. In those relationships where love truly flourished, were both these elements strongly present? Did you feel that rare combination of utter acceptance alongside a gentle nudge towards becoming more? Conversely, in relationships that ultimately faltered or failed to deepen, can you trace the difficulty back to a significant deficit in one or both of these areas? Now think about the connections where you were the one deeply loved. Is it possible that, consciously or unconsciously, you were providing both that safe harbor of understanding and that spark of inspiration for the other person? Again, let me reiterate, the purpose here isn't to reduce the magnificent complexity of love to a simple formula or to provide tools for emotional manipulation. Genuine understanding cannot be faked. Authentic inspiration cannot be manufactured. You cannot make someone feel seen if your empathy isn't real. You cannot force inspiration if you aren't living authentically yourself. However, bringing conscious awareness to these two fundamental human needs can profoundly shift how we approach our relationships. It invites us to intentionally cultivate deeper empathy, to hone our active listening skills until they become second nature, to live with greater integrity and pursue our passions with renewed vigor, and to become genuine cheerleaders for the growth and well-being of those we profess to care about. Notice that these are not merely strategies for attracting a partner. They are fundamental principles for becoming a more whole, connected, and impactful human being in all areas of life. Cultivating these qualities naturally makes genuine, deep connection far more likely. It subtly reframes the quest from a potentially needy, "How can I get someone to fall in love with me?" to a far more empowering and generative, "How can I embody the qualities deep empathy and authentic inspiration that naturally foster profound connection wherever I go?" Ultimately, understanding these two core reasons helps to demystify the often bewildering process of falling in love, grounding it not in unpredictable magic or fleeting chemistry alone, but in recognizable, deeply felt psychological experiences. This understanding empowers us because it illuminates the aspects of connection that are within our sphere of influence, namely our own capacity for empathy, our commitment to personal growth, and the way we choose to show up in our interactions. It encourages vital self-reflection. Am I consistently making a genuine effort to truly see and understand the people I care about beyond surface impressions? Am I living my life in a way that aligns with my deepest values, a way that might naturally inspire those around me? Am I actively fostering relationships, romantic or otherwise, where both the safety of acceptance and the excitement of growth can coexist and flourish? These are not trivial questions. Grappling with them honestly shapes the entire trajectory and quality of our relational lives. In the final analysis, people don't just fall in love with the static snapshot of who you are at a given moment. They fall in love with how you make them feel about their own intrinsic worth, about their place in the often chaotic world, and about the expansive possibilities that seem to unfold when your life becomes intertwined with theirs. They fall irrevocably in love when they experience that rare, life-altering combination, feeling truly, deeply, unequivocally seen and accepted, flaws and all, while simultaneously feeling genuinely, exhilaratingly inspired to become the very best version of themselves. When you can offer both pillars consistently and authentically, you offer something extraordinarily precious, a relational alchemy that the human heart instinctively recognizes, gravitates towards, and ultimately cherishes as home. To love and be loved in this way is to experience life in full color. Leaning back slightly, adopting a concluding tone that is both thoughtful and direct, infused with warmth. So, there we stand. Two fundamental pillars, the bedrock upon which I firmly believe the most profound and enduring forms of love are constructed. The deep, resonant feeling of being truly seen and fully understood, coupled with the vitalizing, uplifting sense of being genuinely inspired to grow and become more. It sounds perhaps deceptively simple when stated so boldly, yet embodying these principles consistently requires immense empathy, unwavering authenticity, courageous vulnerability, and a steadfast commitment to both your own evolution and the nurturing of genuine connection with others. It fundamentally shifts the focus away from the often frustrating search for a mythical perfect person towards the far more meaningful endeavor of creating a relational dynamic where both partners feel profoundly safe enough to be their unvarnished selves and simultaneously feel encouraged and supported enough to reach for their highest potential side by side. Leaning in again, making direct, earnest eye contact to deliver the crucial call to action. Okay, now comes the part I value immensely hearing from you. This is where the insights deepen, where the real learning happens in our shared reflection. Please dive into the comments section below. Which of these two core reasons, the need to feel seen, understood, or the need to feel inspired, elevated, resonates most powerfully with your own personal history of falling in love? Do you believe one holds more weight than the other, or is achieving that delicate balance the absolute key? Can you recall specific relationships where one pillar was robust while the other felt noticeably absent, and what was the result? Share your reflections, your stories, your questions respectfully, of course. Let's build a tapestry of collective wisdom here. Your unique perspective is incredibly valuable to this community. If this exploration sparked insights, offered a fresh perspective, or perhaps articulated something you've long felt intuitively, would you do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button? That simple click is surprisingly powerful. It signals to me and to the wider YouTube world that these deeper, more nuanced conversations about the human condition are valued and needed. It genuinely helps others who might be searching for this kind of understanding to find this video. And if you haven't joined our growing community yet, I warmly invite you to subscribe. We're cultivating something truly special here, over 27,000 minds and hearts exploring life's significant questions with honesty and depth. Click that subscribe button and be sure to hit the notification bell right next to it as well. That way you won't miss our future explorations. I have many more compelling topics lined up that I believe you'll find just as thought-provoking and relevant. Don't miss out on what's next. Finally, please consider sharing this video. Think of just one person in your life, perhaps a friend navigating the dating world, a sibling reflecting on their marriage, a colleague fascinated by human psychology who might find value or clarity in this discussion. Sending it their way, perhaps with a brief personal note, could open up a really meaningful dialogue or provide a helpful framework. Let's extend the circle of understanding. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for investing your valuable time and attention with me today, especially for sticking through this deeper dive. Your engagement, your willingness to grapple with these significant themes is what makes this entire endeavor worthwhile. Remember, gaining a clearer understanding of the dynamics that underpin love doesn't strip away its magic. Rather, it empowers us to cultivate that magic more consciously, more effectively, and more sustainably in our own lives. This is your host, signing off for today. Keep practicing the art of truly seeing others. Keep striving to live a life that authentically inspires. And keep actively nurturing the precious connections that give our lives meaning and depth. Take excellent care of yourselves and each other, and I very much look forward to continuing the conversation with you in the comments and seeing you back here for our next exploration.